Okay, so accepted for value. What is it? How does it work? There's some people out there, giving some disinfo about it and saying, "Hey, we're doing something dishonest," and if you should really pay your bills, and and it's a scam, and all this good stuff. Well, let's get this really clear out front. The United States corporation, and it is a corporation. Um, there's no doubting that. Look at the Act of 1871, the congressional records. It's it's a run-for-profit, privately owned corporation. It's a crown corporation that, from its inception, basically has been bankrupt. And in the 1913, when the bankruptcy was over, the second one, they got a 20-year extension until 1933 or 29, and then you had the Great Depression when they moved a lot of the money out, and then they set up the Federal Reserve. And they gave everybody a birth certificate and made the citizens or the people of America into corporate fictions, your own corporation. They set up a trust account in your name. And you basically, when your parents signed the birth certificate, pledged all of your labor and everything in this country to the creditors, to the bankers, to the International Monetary Fund. There is no money to pay anything. And if you think a Federal Reserve note is money, you better do your homework, because it's not. It's a debt instrument. It's debt. Legally, you can't discharge it. You can't pay a debt with a debt. And through House Joint Resolution 192, right the day before they passed the Federal Reserve Act, they knew they had to give the American people a way out, the sovereign people, so they couldn't be tried for treason. House Joint Resolution 192 was passed, and it gave you your remedy. All debt should be discharged dollar for dollar. There's no money to pay anything. You've already given everything. They already own everything. It's all theirs. They've given it all, even your labor. So there's I don't know how to explain any better than that. There's no way to pay. There is no valid form of currency. The gold is gone. It's so they own everything. They own your labor, everything. So it's like if you work for McDonald's, and McDonald's is a corporation, and you get your McDonald's flag out, and every day, when the day McDonald's was created, you wave your McDonald's flag and say, "Hey, we're all McDonald's citizens," which is basically what you are as a U.S. citizen. So because you are a McDonald's employee, or you have a trust account, you're the creditor. So all you have to do is sign your name. That's how accepted for value works. A lot more to it than that. But anybody out there spreading disinformation saying that accepted for value doesn't work, it sure as hell does work, and I've used it many times. Is it getting a little difficult? I don't recommend people do this for their electric bills or their cable or their cell phone. You can, but what you have to do is follow it up if it's dishonored with an administrative process, which can cost you a couple $100 to do effectively. I'm telling you, man, there are people out here doing this stuff, and there's no illegal ramifications, because this is the law. These are the codes. It's the Uniform Commercial Code. That's the law of the land we're under right now. So I just wanted to say that, and if you are and you have a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen, which is a fictional corporation set up in your name in all capital letters. So if you work for the company and the company has debts and they send you a bill, What do you do as an authorized representative for the company? You just sign for it. Everything's already paid. They already have the money. They took it all. There's no way to pay. Just sign for it. It's just, that's the way it is. And that's how accepted for value works. Thank you for listening.